In this week's webinar, we are talking to Célia. She's a member of our tribe, around this idea of being present in the imperfect. As human beings, we've got to show up all the time. We show up as parents, as spouses, as friends. We show up as colleagues. We show up as leaders. And of course, in today's world, we've got to show up virtually in Zoom meetings. And what does it mean to be present in the midst of all of those scenarios that we have to show up in? And of course, there's a very big difference between being present and engaged with what we're doing versus being disconnected and disengaged with whatever it is that we have to plug into. We're present physically, but when it comes to our hearts and our minds, we really are not there. I had a really great chat to Célia around this week, and I asked her the question, how does it feel to be disconnected? And here's what she had to say.
I mean, when I'm disconnected, I honestly feel this, I don't know, it's like lethargic, and I feel, I just feel so tired. And it's not necessarily always a physical tiredness, but it's like an inner, emotional, mental, spiritual tiredness. And honestly, all I want to do is sleep. And I go, well, if I just sleep more, it will be good. Well, I have tried that. It is not working out as much as I had hoped.
And I'm sure you can all identify with that. Just this feeling of lethargy and this sense of just wanting to escape and to plug out and to sleep. And so I guess the question is, well, what do we do with that? And in this webinar, we're not going to be exploring what we need to do to our external environment in order to be able to pitch up. We're going to focus more on what happens internally and how we can make some internal shifts in order to be more present in the midst of everything that we have to show up in. Chatted to Cel a little bit around this idea of making the internal shifts, and she made some really great comments. Here's what she had to say.
I think that it's an internal shift that then allows for the external shift to come, because it is so easy to sit next to someone on a couch and be present, but not fully present. You're a million miles away, or you're on your phone, or you're thinking about something else. In the same way that you could be present with your team online, but not necessarily be hearing or being, fully engaged with what's going on around you. And I think when we catch ourselves in that space and there's an awareness, then we can shift internally, going like, oh, okay, I realize what I'm doing now. This is important to me. These people are important to me. This work is important to me. This time is important to me, to them. I want to bring myself. I mean, it can actually happen quite quickly. It's just, you got to mind the gap, and when you're not aware of something, it could go on. But the minute some awareness comes to you, you're able to do something about it.
So if you're interested in exploring what it means to stand in the gap and unpacking some practical tips and skills and insights that enable us to move from feeling disconnected to feeling present, especially in the midst of the scenarios that are really important to us, then join us this week, Thursday at 9 a.m. It's about showing up authentically. It's about bringing energy to the things that we need to bring energy to. And it's really about this idea of being present in the midst of the imperfect. We hope that you can join us.